Today, Precarious plays
Mega Man Battle Network. $100 zennies.
Wait,
Yay.
doesn't
Totally worth the wait.
Dragon Ball? No, that's Zenny.
Zenny, just in various spellings,
Uh-huh.
is a frequent stand-in for translated Japanese currency.
Is it like yen and penny smashed together?
Oh my god, is that... I need
Plus
to go
a
lie...
Z to make it cooler.
I need to go lie down.
Just a Z for all those 12-year-olds. I'm not 12 and I love the letter Z. See? Doesn't that look so cool? It's so cool! I like any of those old lame letters, like F.
I think somebody just has some report card trauma. Oh, come on. So...
What was the secret data, anywho? What was the secret?
It was just $100, which is...
I was testing you. You told the secret.
What?
Told the secret.
No, it was not a secret. It was mystery data. It's not... This is mystery data.
Oh, okay.
And I got Metgarde, which I think is actually pretty good. So I'm gonna probably put that in the folder. Yes. You
So-
can get up to 3 seconds of blocking power.
So how many chips can you have? Can you own?
I believe you can have a pretty incredible number in your sack.
Yeah.
You can only have 30 in your folder.
Okay. So you have a sack, which has a bunch of chips in it.
Yes.
And then you have a folder, which has select chips in it. And then when you...
Interesting, now that I think about it, that LAN has a bag of holding, I guess, that can just
Yeah.
hold an infinite number of things, but the digital folder can only hold 30? Weird.
Yeah.
Need to buy a bigger flash drive, buddy. Anyway, you're saying?
Well, the folder, is that what you choose from on the battle maps?
Yes.
Okay, so basically you have your card collection, and then you have a deck, and then you pull cards out of the deck. Not at random, right?
No,
Like-
they're at random.
Oh. Okay, I want to see this happen. When you're done.
See, like this, the reason why this is just sorted by ID
Uh-huh.
is because whenever you start a battle or whenever you go to the custom screen,
Uh-huh.
it just picks 5, or if you sacrifice turns to increase the limit, 10 or 15 chips.
Okay, so hang on a second. So you set up that folder and it randomly pulled those 5 chips on the chip select menu?
Yeah, and let me show you this just to show you another thing. So if you do the add option,
Yeah.
Mega Man, I'm sending more chip data, give me 1 turn. And now it's just
You surviving.
me and the Buster doing our best. Now these guys are pretty slow, right?
Yeah. Like this is not
ponderous
intense.
fellow.
This is the time to discuss and test this right now.
So now this is what I have access to. I have the ones that I had before and an additional 5 more, and I think that might be permanent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pick 3 cannons, which should let me...
So that kind of increases your hand size.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just trying to make sense of this because I've played plenty of deck building games and not so much collectible card, like trading card games, because I find those more exhausting than fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's like, do I really want to dedicate my life to this? Because that's what happens. Either that or you spend a long time researching what deck to make and then you just buy the cards and then you play with it. Which is like, kind of takes the mystery out of it. I don't know, I've got a lot of difficult feelings for collectible things because I don't know. There's just so much consumerism all over them.
Well, I grew up with a lack of... Man, this is the last program. Yeah, and we'll go tell them.
Okay.
Glide. I grew up with a lack of disposable income.
Yeah.
It's not fair to say that I like grew up poor
But
to my family, but I was never hungry, but I also wasn't the kid that had the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 and the Wii and 5 controllers for each of them and so on, right?
It was like you picked your console and you got games for it.
Which I rented.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a big deal for me, for my family to give me like a console, which is more than, some people had for sure, but still, there were definitely people that had more stuff. They had more freedom to just float around and experience all the things.
Yeah, so a collectible trading card game is kind of a sore spot.
Right. I hated collectible card games. The only one that I ever tried to get into was Pokemon, and that is because it's Pokemon. And it was a fad for me. Like I stopped collecting them sometime after like the first 2 expansions.
It's funny, the Pokemon trading card game was my first exposure to Pokemon. And actually, technically my second, because the first exposure I had to Pokemon was on a Lunchables box. And I just thought it was the coolest fucking shit in the whole world because it had the 3 legendary birds on the box and you could cut them out. And you could keep like these little stamp-sized pictures of these Pokemon. And each different box of Lunchables had different Pokemon. So I started collecting pieces of Lunchables boxes without knowing what the hell I was doing in like 3rd grade. I was like, I love this! These are so pretty! I love animals and horses! This horse is on fire! I love it! And then the kindly dudes that sat around me were like, hey, there's like a card game for that. And I was like, really? So I was very excited to find out that there were, a couple hundred of these little guys running around. They evolved into each other, and I don't know, it just kind of caught up with me like it caught up with everybody else. But I never actually played the card game. I just collected the cards, for the sake of their aesthetic value. Thought that they were pretty and awesome. And my mom was a biologist, so she was running into Pokemon stuff on her end of things too, and she was like, the guy that invented this was an entomologist like me, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. So I just loved it like even harder.
Is that true?
I would like someone to check. I want to know.
Because I've heard that before, and I was just like, oh yeah, sure. But that might be some sort of like urban legend.
Yeah, well, urban legend or not, at the time, anything that my mom said was like as good as reference material. So I was just like, yeah, that's great. Thank goodness, something that you and I both like. Cool.
You got me.
So I was way into it, but I never like bought any of my trading cards. I always got them gifted to me and then continually traded up in more and more spectacular nonsense trades, culminating in a trade that had to do with the fossil Mew, like the holographic fossil Mew that they gave out at the first movie. I had 2 of those because my mom and I went, and I traded each one of those for like a stack of 10 rares, some of which were like holographic from my friends. And I was just like, all right, that's great. So I, to this day, have a little binder with absolutely no energies, so it's almost completely impossible to play, with lots of really cool shiny cards in it. It's nice.
One thing that I want to talk about just for a minute here. I love the chips in this game and the interesting situations that they create. Even if they just wind up being sort of temporary, because eventually you get chips that are just very powerful and are just generally superior, right? But check this out. Canon does 40 damage.
Yeah.
Shotgun does 30, but hits an enemy and then an enemy behind that enemy, possibly. Crossgun does 30, just like shotgun, but it explodes diagonally out from the target.
Huh.
So it's very interesting because the damage cap on shotgun, without using any other chips or anything,
Yeah.
is 60.
But
And it's a moderate difficulty lining up a shot like that, right? Cannon is straightforward and just does 40, so it's gonna be like your better option against like a boss, for example, right?
right.
But then crossgun can potentially do up to 150 damage if you can create
That alignment
shape,
of
yeah.
enemy. But that makes it fun. That's the fun part, though. That's the hard fun.
Yeah,
That's
but
where
what-
the hard fun lies.
What I'm actually gonna do is be a wiener and put in an extra. I'm gonna swap out one of those shotguns for another cannon. I'm gonna keep them in for a while.
But that's neat.
But
Yeah.
this is what the game is you prowl around for. Can I do this? Hold on, let me see if I can do this. I'm gonna try to do this. All right, let's see if I can't. Hold on, I don't know if I'm deft enough.
Are you swift and deft?
Oh, I should have swung if I
Deft
had.
and swift?
Oh, I just need to swing. I just need to go for it. Ha! Ow! I got one of them, but not the other one.
Just
Man.
go for it!
That is something I should have done, but I didn't. I hesitated. That sucks. And I missed, because now I'm
missed.
flustered.
Don't fluster.
You saw what I was going for, right?
Yes, you're
Please.
trying to, like, dramatically cut them both.
Yeah. Oh well. Now you'll notice that Mega Man's HP persists through battles. So occasionally I spend some time just healing. Healing in battles, like you do.
I think it's neat. I think I can see that I probably would not play this game on my own, but I kind of get it and I'm kind of into it right now.
Ooh! Let's take a break here because I just got a dash card.
Dash! What does that mean?
I mean, I could tell you, but that would be a spoiler. You can come back tomorrow and find out like everybody else.